I'm Still Here is out in theaters, new Brazilian drama directed by Walter Salles, based on a book by Marcelo Rubens Paiva, which in turn is based on the true story of his own family. Which, by the way, Walter Salles was a friend of his whole life, making this a very personal film for him. The movie stars Fernanda Torres and won the Academy Award this year for Best International Feature, was also nominated for Best Leading Actress for Torres, and Best Picture. The story, as I said, is a real one, and it starts in 1970 Rio de Janeiro, a city occupied by a military dictatorship. We spent the first half hour of the film slowly getting to know the Paiva family, a married couple with 5 kids of different ages. They are wonderful, warm, kind, loving family, intellectuals, clearly educated and worldly and modern people. The father is, I think, an architect or an engineer of some kind, former politician. Now he still does some underground work for the resistance, and one day the peace of the family is broken as a result of that. Armed men arrived at the house, they take him away, they tell the rest of the family that he's going to be back soon. But then time goes on, and the authorities shift their narrative to saying that they've never actually arrested him in the first place, meaning that he is suddenly missing and at some point becomes presumed dead, leaving behind his wife, who now has to ensure the remaining family members' safety while trying to find out the truth, get closure, and possibly justice for her husband. So it's a very good film in the sense that it tells a compelling story and explores this harrowing position of a parent who is essentially not allowed to grieve openly and to break down as a result of her stress and trauma, because she has to keep a straight face for everyone else around her. And at the same time, it is obviously an important historical record of the atrocities committed by the Brazilian military at the time, a way of preserving the memory and hopefully keeping this as a warning never to repeat those things ever again. I thought that the movie does an incredible job of setting up the mood in the first act, using warm colors, great period look and production design, and maybe most importantly, a fantastic soundtrack, only to then use that as the heavy contrast to the more serious and dramatic stuff afterwards. The performances are all very good. Obviously, Fernanda Torres is the standout. She gives a very subdued and controlled performance without any obvious sort of outbreaks of loud acting, which interestingly she said that she had some scenes of crying that were all cut from the finished film, because the real Eunice would never cry in front of her family or the cameras. So the direction and editing was done in a way to kind of preserve her strength of character, her strength of perseverance, and drive the point home that this is a person who has to bottle up her emotions and feelings and keep them inside, but never forgotten, never truly extinguished, in the hope of one day getting that closure and getting that justice. Good movie overall.